Fucking yeah, bitch.
Okay. And we're streaming. And Fake Chris. And Fake Charlie. Sourpuss. I don't know.
I'm happy, Charlie. It's Christmas
Okay.
time.
It is Christmas time. So we're streaming. It's weird. I just started feeling Christmassy the day before yesterday. Friday.
Why is that?
I don't know. The whole year's been weird, right? Totally. Not the whole year, but since March, the year's just been strange. And I'm not the only person that said this, but Christmas just like snuck up. I hadn't bought anything. I knew what I was buying for my mom. I hadn't done my usual like gift certificate store credits for my brother and his family, and I did them all, and I don't know, all of a sudden, bam, felt like Christmas.
I like how it's usual that you get them gift cards. You're like, oh, Uncle Chris, he's just gonna get us money again. It's the best present.
Yeah.
He's giving us cash.
Well, it's
That's not a
weird
bad
because
gift.
I have this, every other year I have this conversation with my brother, and I'm like, you know what I want to know? It's kind of like birthdays, and I'm totally sincere. I'm like, on my birthday, you know what I want? I want a phone call. I want to know you're thinking about me.
Blowjob. Oh,
And that's dude, it's Christmas. Come on. Christ
and
mass.
a Christmassy Christmas job. Yeah.
Anyway,
Sure.
and then at Christmas we exchanged cards, and I told him, all we're really doing is sending each other on errands. So,
To go buy your own shit. Yeah.
well, you get a gift card from a store, and you either got to go online, which is pretty easy to do, or, when it was physical gift cards, you had to go to a store, and we were literally just mandating errands. We
You're like,
try to
"Here's this
stay
money
somewhat.
that-"
Yeah, we try to stay somewhat equitable money-wise. And then I'm like, dude, let's just send each other cards and call each other on Christmas and give each other, like, sincere, hey, thinking of you, Merry Christmas.
Or you could just be normal, do that anyway, and get your brother a real gift.
Yeah, but you know what? I actually got him a gift last year, and it didn't fit right, and he's like, we're never doing this again.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's good. At least you're on the same page. For years, because I have a sister too. You don't have a sister, so like for years I had, she's like, oh, we never do the presents, and it's sad because I get you guys. Sorry, my voice is fucked up, folks at home. I have a bad case of tonsillitis, and don't make the joke that you're thinking about making, because it's not for that reason that I have a sore throat. We always go back and forth on like who's doing presents, who's not doing presents, and then Brendan was like a child, so he didn't have money. And now we all have money, so like we can get gifts, but we're bad at it. I'm pretty sure I was with Gordy when he bought me all the presents he's buying me this year, and like now I'm so it's this whole thing. But I got some pretty sweet gifts this year for my family. I'm pretty excited for it.
How do you know
I got you a
that?
sweet gift too,
You're-
because I like put some time into it. I got you a dope gift. But
No, how do you know what you're getting? It's not Christmas. That's
no, I'm
antithetical
saying
to the
I
whole
bought
fucking thing.
great gifts for.
You said, and I'm
my
getting
family.
sweet stuff.
Yeah, because I basically this year my mom just was like, "What the fuck do you want?" And I picked it
Then
up.
you're gonna get it.
I was like, "Here we go." She's like, "Cool." Yeah.
Yay. So Merry Christmas, everybody.
And it's not all about presents,
Yeah, it
which
is.
is the moral of that story. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. As you know, I'm
So,
on
yeah.
Match, and if for anybody who watches, they know I'm on Match. And for religion, I put Christian/other, and then I make a stipulation because you can fill in the box if you put other. And I said, in terms of Christianity, I celebrate Christmas. The other 364 days a year, it's other. So, I love Christmas.
So you're pedantic, Dick. And I would say that. I would say you're like
yeah, but
everybody
what's
else
that
in America.
No, that's just honest, though. That's not like pedants. or being a pedant.
Pedantry.
That's just being
Pedantry, yeah.
accurate.
You're getting into the minutia of it, which I believe minutious is actually a word, an adjective, but we don't have to get into
Minutia? Sure.
that. Yeah. No, minutious.
Really? Okay.
doesn't matter.
I don't think pedants is. I think I made that up. But
Pedantry. Yeah.
pedantry. Okay. Yeah, thank you
Now
very
we're
much.
being pedantic.
Yes, we are.
Point is.
No. But
wait,
here,
I wanted to show. Go
hang
ahead.
on. So on the just backing up on the match thing because you took it another layer. I don't want to put Christian on there and then have somebody expect that I'm going to go to church with them every Sunday. Or that if they bring up the Bible, I might suggest that it's a book of fables, and they get offended.
But they will, and you will. So it's like
So,
it's
right.
hard to-
That's
yeah.
why I said
So
the
it's
other
hard.
364 days are other. Right.
Yeah, that's a fair point. You know what? This is actually really hot. I have to take this scarf off. I'm sweating.
Okay.
This is a nice scarf, folks. We were doing a bit, but it's over now. We're
And this
wearing-
is a nice scarf. And hey, what do you know? So is
Yeah.
this.
So Chris is wearing $5,000 in scarves, and I have it right here, but I'm not gonna wear them because I'm sweating.
So that was supposed
So-
to be just between us, but whatever.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Now we're privileged for now. We're first
You know, the
worlders,
reason
but-
I put on the scarf is I was looking for my green turtleneck to have green and red and to look holiday and festive, and I couldn't find it. So remember, I think it was last week, I said I normally go to Somerset and I wear my scarf and my little thing, and so I'm wearing my outfit. So yay for the podcast for bailing me out.
Well, you do look good, so
Thank you very
that's what
much.
matters,
I always
Yeah.
look good.
of course.
All right. So I'm flying blind. You have some ideas. So
Do we talk
Charlie's-
about me having
Charlie's got the rudder.
I do have some ideas, but it's mostly just for fun. And I know how much you love Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, so I was kind of just
I love
flipping
her.
through the old Facebook, and something came up, and it's kind of Christmas related, kind of what you mentioned about religion. And I thought we could talk about that for a second, but
Sure.
it's this video, and it's old. It's from February, but it's of her bringing up how she says, "I'm sick and tired of how religion is only brought up in politics when it's in defense of bigotry or discrimination." And I'm like, no, it just people like to defend their own bigotry and discrimination by saying it's my freedom of religion that I can't bake a cake for this gay dude, or I can't officiate this wedding because it's a sham or whatever. But when in reality, her argument is just that they have a good defense against discrimination. So she's conflating the fact that any defense of bigotry or discrimination in the eyes of the law is the same as using religion as a defense of those things. Whereas it should be separate. You should say, first of all, I can discriminate against anybody I want to, kind of like we talked about on last show, just because I shouldn't have to fucking explain it to you. And I shouldn't be
Because it's
forced.
America, and it's right. It's a free
Yeah.
country, and do as you will. Do
Yeah,
what you
I
want.
shouldn't be
Do
forced
whatever
to
the fuck
fucking
you
do it
want,
for you.
as long as you're not hurting anybody.
Yeah, I thought we
There's a
outlawed slavery a long time ago. So
Right.
I was just annoyed
Well,
with that
that's more
stupid
indentured
soundbite.
servitude, but
Yeah.
actually, it's
temporary.
it's neither. But that's okay.
Well,
Well,
it has technically
It
has
just
a limit
showed
on it, right?
a flavor of an absence of forethought or wisdom or intelligence or some combination thereof of her.
It's an incomplete thought, right? And you're like, not quite. Yeah, and
Yeah,
so
not
I
really.
hate- yeah, and it wasn't even like it was her public. It wasn't like her PR people putting it out. It was now this politics being like, look how she's standing up for people that are getting fucked over by the church. And I'm not the guy who defends the church. You can watch as many of these podcasts as you want. That's not who I am. And neither is Chris. But it's also not a real argument. So it's like I despise the fact that there's this group out there who's like, what would you call it? Like blowing wind up her skirt. How would you? What's the saying for that?
Blowing
Blowing
smoke up her butt.
blowing smoke up her butt about this fucking like thing that she shouldn't be getting any praise for
Come on,
whatsoever.
Lucy. Come
And it's
on.
like that's part of why she is a thing at all, is because you fucking media people just create shit, and people are stupid. I'm sorry, but the rubes at home are like, yeah, that is a nice sound bite. I do like that 38-second clip. I do like them talking for that long about that top subject.
Well,
You
she
know,
was
like,
trying to
that's
do
my
two
goal.
things, I think. Three things. Sound smart, throw something kind of controversial in there,
Oh, cliche. Oh, yeah.
And-
yeah.
and create a soundbite. And she succeeded at maybe one.
She did create a soundbite. That's fair.
Right.
Actually, they created the soundbite. So I'm not even blaming this on her. Like, I'm blaming it on her for thinking that it was a good point to make, but now this politics was like, let's make this video and we'll we'll be supporting all of our discriminated our viewers who get discriminated against when they want to have cakes for gay weddings or whatever. I think she talked about healthcare too, and it's like, where does it say, like, when has anybody said I can't pay for your healthcare because I'm a Christian or because I'm a Muslim or whatever? Like, I don't think that's ever come up.
Okay.
Right? Sorry, I know you didn't see the thing, but she's
say,
like, we can't turn people away from the hospital and say it's a defense of religion, and you're like, no one gets turned away from hospitals. First of all, that doesn't happen, and you're like, what the fuck? Oh, what? I don't. Maybe she's just shitting on Republicans for saying, "And God bless America." At the end of the day. Point being, it's like you're fighting this scarecrow.
She's Hispanic, man. I mean, traditionally, she's culturally Catholic. I mean, that's
She talked about that. She's like, "Yeah, I'm a woman
She's
of
pres-
faith." Or whatever.
She did say that? I was
Yeah.
going to say that's presumptuous on my part, but there you go. All right, so we've
you're
probably
right.
lost anybody who might have stuck around this long.
I usually do that. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
It's a fair point, and you'll see that if we didn't lose you, just go check out some of those Now This Politics videos, and you'll be
So
like, a lot of these don't have any fucking. They're just puff pieces, always.
You want to hear something interesting that...
No, I don't.
Okay, cool. All right. I'll just put on Christmas tunes. We could just
This dance.
hum along for the next 40 minutes.
Cool.
I watched the Brett Weinstein and his wife podcast, the Dark Horse podcast, this morning. This got no attention. The New York Times, this is the craziest fucking thing, suggested that, and I don't know if this was an op-ed or an editorial or I don't know. It seemed like an editorial. They suggested that the right way to distribute vaccines, in terms of, they didn't call it triaging, but that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
This is really disturbing. They said that it shouldn't go. So it's healthcare workers, then elderly,
People over. Yeah.
then frontline workers, which is, I think, like, probably checkout people at stores, EMTs, shit like that. Or they maybe they fall into frontline. Okay. And this is most deadly, for lack of a better word, but it's the right word, to people over 65 or 70, right? And it said, it bothers me to even repeat this. It said that because white people live longer, because they already have a health benefit, that they shouldn't get the vaccine first. And that because more frontline workers, in terms of cashiers and more low-paying jobs, is a higher proportion of minorities, that they should get it.
I think I read that somewhere that
It literally said
it came down to that.
because more white people live longer because they have a health benefit, they should step back in line. Oh my God.
You should step back. That's not as bad as
I
one
don't
that I
even-
read. Brad said.
I-
Yeah.
There's so many ways to address that in terms of how it's wrong. I don't even want to do it. I just wanted to bring it up because it's like shocking.
The one that that's almost as bad. And you could even say, look, it's black people are dying faster. We should, or more, they're twice as likely to die than white people. So we should get them. White people, for whatever reason, aren't dying as much. You could say that they take care of themselves better, or it doesn't affect them as much, or whatever the case is. You could even go. There's several ways that's a racist discussion, right? You don't want to go into that.
So
if we just talk about the numbers, go ahead.
Yeah, and if you were just talking about numbers, and if you said, like impoverished inner city, and it didn't have anything to do with, they didn't bring up
Race.
skin color. If they just said people who live in more densely populated areas, in more densely populated homes, like if they said, the average home in an impoverished urban setting is like 4 people to a bedroom, and in rural areas it's 1.7 people per bedroom, and for that reason they're dying more and it should go there. Well, then that's an argument. So think of this. If you're saying that older people shouldn't get the vaccination because, and even take skin color out of it, who are you really screwing over? You're screwing over the older impoverished people, right? If you're 70 and you're white, according, to this, and you have better health care and you live longer, and you should take a step back in line because of age, what have you just done to an older minority? Just gave them a fucking death sentence.
Yeah.
Because if they're older, they haven't had as good a health care, and they live in a more densely populated personal situation, it's like, bam, man. They really don't have a chance.
They're less equipped to deal with it when they get sick, and they're more likely to actually get the disease, right? So it's
right.
Factor,
Yeah. It's like triple indemnity. Whatever. It's obviously wasn't thought through, as most things like SJW position type things aren't. It's just shocking. Anyway,
I read one, and I don't know if that was, like you said, an editorial or whatever, but I read one just today. We don't have to talk about it, but I might as well share it. That said, black people should get, their votes should count as 2 votes. So I was like, great. As a form of reparations. I was like, awesome. I was like, let's just do it. I'm like, at some point, like, one of these things has to fly. That's the one that I think causes me the least damage, because I think it would get shot down in reality. Like,
it can't. I mean,
black people,
well, here's
we should
the
have
thing.
reparations in the terms
Here's the danger of reparations if you're black. Let's say they said, okay, in the 2024 election, your vote's going to count double, and somewhere the number 80 or 88,000 got thrown around as that's what they figured was the, if you figured out, if you're a descendant of slavery, like that's the number. And how do you determine anymore who's a descendant of slavery? But let's just say that's the number. So you're going to get, in 2024, 2 votes. You're going to get a check for $80,000, and you're going to get this, that, and the other thing. And let's just say that that's meted out. Okay? The bad part of that is that it won't fix anything. And I would argue that most people, $80,000 is a pretty easy amount of money to blow. It sounds like a lot of dough, but spending $1,000 80 times is a pretty easy task.
Or even, you could even do it $10,000 8 times. It spends fast.
$1,000 is very easy to spend.
Yeah,
right. 80 days is what? a little more than a fifth of a year,
Yeah.
right? More than a quarter, less than a fifth. So every fourth day you spend $1,000 on whatever, 4 scarves. And then it's gone. And then it will not have cured anything. So 5 years from now, when there are still issues, regarding poverty, perhaps skin color, racism, whatever, people will be like, you got what you asked for. You got your check. You got your 2 votes. We're done. You said this is what you wanted. We're literally done. You can't come to the trough twice. That's a dangerous thing. Reparations are a dangerous thing because everybody who doesn't give a fuck gets to go, we're done. You got what you wanted.
Bitch.
Yeah. It's over.
I have an idea. This is an original idea too, because sometimes, not all black people are descendants from slaves, whatever. So it's like kind of a mixed signal there. It's hard to calculate. Why don't you just have white people's votes be worth 3/5 of a regular vote?
In terms
Has that been done
of,
before?
yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Just to make each racial group have exactly. Yeah, but then.
No, I'm making a 3/5 compromise joke. Whatever, it slipped through the cracks. It's okay.
Well, I don't. The reason I didn't get it is that's 60%, and America's 60% white people. That's immediately
So
where my head went.
Yeah, I know you went to math, but I was just talking. I said this is an original idea. It's never been done before. All right, we'll stop talking about my joke. It's okay.
Okay.
That was actually that was due in taxation as well, so it didn't have just to do with voting. But
Christmas.
it's the best time of year. Great.
Ding,
great time of year
ding,
to talk
fries are
about it.
done. Ding, fries are done. Do you know what song that is? Highly politically
ding, fries are
incorrect.
done. Would you like an apple pie with that?
Yes. Don't bob for fries and hot fat. It really hurts, and so do skin grafts.
Oh, I didn't know that was in there. That's a rough line.
Don't bob for fries and hot fat. It really hurts, and so do skin grafts.
I went.
When my dad heard that, I don't know, 10 years ago, he laughed his ass off. Don't bob for fries and hot fat.
hurts, man. That's funny. I forgot that. That was like back when YouTube was new, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah, somebody was talking about viral videos, and this is before your time, or maybe not. The first viral video, can you think of what it was? This is arguably kind of what everybody, or the people in this conversation agreed on.
No idea.
It might have been Malice. The dancing baby.
I never saw that. I thought it was like, oh, Charlie bit me.
Now, there's a dancing baby to Kung Fu fighting. Everybody was Kung Fu fighting. And there's this little naked baby like doing these karate chop things. You got to look it up after this.
I'll check
Boy,
it out.
this is an odd episode. We are all over the place.
You're the one who brought up viral videos from 1994, so I'll keep going on that one. I was gonna say I went to pick up a Christmas present today, and hopefully none of them watch this show or the gift is ruined. But I went to go pick up some GATs, some guns from my friendly neighborhood gun dealer. And I'd never done that before. I'd always gotten them from a store. But I picked up these shotguns from this guy, and it was just a dude who had an FFL out of his garage.
Out of his house.
And it was like super sketchy, but at the same time, it was cool.
Those guys are everywhere.
Yeah, they are everywhere. Yeah, and he was just like, yeah, it's $50, whatever. So I was like, cool, because Dick's doesn't do it anymore. Fuck you, Dick's. At Dick's Sporting Goods, you guys suck.
They don't do
not
FFL
sponsor the
deliveries?
They don't even sell guns or hunting equipment anymore. I was I was there yesterday. They
All
didn't even sell any of
political.
that shit. They like went the fucking liberal way. They're like, guns are bad. Who cares? Guns are not bad.
I promise you, if it were a significant part of their business, they wouldn't have made that decision.
Yeah, but there was like the biggest gun boom ever after this year. during an election year 2020, like after they made that decision anyway. So they wouldn't have even known. They could have had the most profitable year for firearm sales, and they totally missed out on it.
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah,
it
there
is.
was a rush after, when, the riots. God,
Pride
riots?
cometh before the fall. I don't
When the
know what it is.
protests kind of devolved into riots.
Yeah.
And now there's a huge, gun rush with what's being
Still
suggested.
can't buy bullets. A lot of places. It's tough.
Yeah, every place is out.
Yeah, but anyway, that was fun. So, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Friendly Neighborhood Gun Dealer, who's some Romanian guy.
How far
nice.
away was it
Like-
from you?
5 minutes. It was like I could have walked there, but it was like
That's funny.
yeah, it was nice. And Mom was like, "Is this normal?" I'm like, "Yeah, don't worry about it." Anyway.
Yeah, those guys are everywhere.
Yeah, it's totally fine. But that was just cool because I'd never done that before. So that was interesting. And it's funny. Speaking of guns and Christmas, two of my siblings are on holiday in. I guess that's kind of a British term, isn't it? I don't mean to say that. They're on vacation in Austin, Texas, right now. Which you'd like, you think Texas, right winger state. But my sister's like, she's totally getting Portland vibes out there. And
Really?
It's turning her off. It's like very lefty, yeah. Which is
Huh.
interesting. Yeah.
What's she doing in Austin?
They're just there. I think she's visiting a friend, and my brother's visiting her. But, yeah, the friend is an Olympic fencer, by the way. Very impressive. Yeah.
Huh? Oh, you should. Yeah,
have a
you
crush.
sent me her Instagram page, and that she'd be a guest.
Oh, yeah, I'm totally crushing on her. Yeah. I won't say her name, but...
Have you met her?
I'm deeply in love. I think one time, yeah. So now I just stalk her Instagram and comment funny things on her posts. But yeah, she knows what I'm after. It's all right.
How does your sister know her?
Work. Yeah,
Huh?
and I'm pretty sure she actually got away with working for that company. I won't say the name of the company, but I'm pretty sure she got away with getting paid for like several months of work without actually doing like a day's worth of work and living out of state.
To be an Olympic athlete?
Yeah. So like she was making money doing a job that she never did while she was training to be on the fencing team or whatever. It was just
Well,
like they're fucking paying her.
That
And I'm
that
like,
lines
it's
up with
kind of
kind
their
of
fault.
tech industry,
Yeah.
HR kind of
It's
habits.
like whatever. But I don't think that was an understanding between them. I think she was just like getting away with it. Whatever. Props
Oh,
to her.
really?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So it's good stuff. But yeah, liberals in Texas. Who'd have thought? I think Joe Rogan's people in like all Silicon Valley are moving there, and it's like switching the tide. Man, that would be fucking scary if Texas went blue in an election year.
Yeah, well, Tesla's going there, right? Elon Musk officially said he was moving.
And I think that's actually an anti-left movement. Like he's doing that to get away from like high tax burdens and shit and
Yeah.
over encumbrant government. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could see Austin being left-leaning.
I thought that was interesting.
It's a wealthy city. There's a couple schools there. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh my. So
I'm
now
grasping at
what?
straws here. I don't know if you can tell. Yeah.
All right. So I thought.
What are your
of,
favorite Christmas movies? Oh, go ahead. What were you gonna think of?
No,
No, talk about.
we
your
can do
Christmas
that, but
movies.
I thought of something to talk about. Maybe I'll save it. Favorite Christmas movies. Elf, for sure.
You're an elf.
Just
You're an angry elf.
Will Ferrell is hilarious.
My
And I like the way it ends. There's a lot of Christmas cheer in the way it ends.
my lady friend, her favorite line from that movie is writing it on the Etch-a-Sketch. Is he goes, "I'm sorry, I ruined all your lives and crammed 11 cookies into the VCR."
I don't remember that. That's funny.
It's a fucking great line. And he's writing it on an Etch a Sketch. Yeah, that's a good one.
So Elf. I don't know if this is a Christmas movie. It's really a Thanksgiving movie, but it's a holiday movie. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I watch
That's a
that
good movie.
every morning of Thanksgiving for 20 years. Probably I've done that.
Did you watch it this year?
I did. Part of every. It's a Wonderful Life has to be on the list, even though I've only seen it a few times. But it's a good holiday movie. Scrooged, I like. I will watch that on demand between now and Christmas. Have you seen that before?
No. What's Screw It? I'm trying to think of It's a Wonderful Life, and It's a Wonderful Life, is that the one where an angel loses its wing or gains its wings every time you ring a bell? Or
At the end, at the very end, yeah.
ding 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 ding, and the guy's making fun of him, like ringing the bell a bunch of times. Okay. So what's Scrooged?
Scrooged is it's a parody on Scrooge, or I think it's is it A Christmas Story?
Christmas
think.
Carol.
Christmas Carol, yeah, Dickens, and it's Bill Murray. So Bill Murray is this modern day executive, and they're putting together this live, like 3-hour Christmas show, and he's this just take no prisoners TV producer, and it turns into Scrooge, and he's got Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, and Future. And it's hilarious. And the one of them, she's got her little wand, and she like just beats the hell out of him with it. It's a really funny movie.
All right, I'll watch it. Shit, I'll watch it tonight if I can convince that girl to hang out with me. I'll do it.
It's kind of long, but it's good. It's not something you can watch like over and over and over. But the first time you watch it, it's really good. It's very funny.
This will be the first time, and Bill Murray's a fucking winner, so
he is.
That's hard to beat. Yeah,
he is.
That's good. Scrooged. Okay.
I kind of like Fred Claus.
Not bad. Yeah, where he becomes Santa. Yeah.
Yes. I like the more kind of modern ones, the traditional ones, like the one with the kid and the Red Ryder gun. I do not understand how that is so popular.
That's a Christmas Story. I never liked that.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's not funny. There's nothing in that movie is funny to me. Nothing.
Wait, this is an awesome topic, and I'm derailing us from best Christmas movies, but because you said that, and this is a good topic to actually go into, and you and I are going to fucking get some steam out of this because we disagree on a lot of this shit, but there's a podcast called Gutting the Sacred Cow, and all they talk about is movies that people fucking love, and they'll bring a guest on to be like, this movie sucks, and here's why. And they like have to have a good argument where it's like 3 points why the movie's terrible, and they'll be like, yeah, fuck you everybody, Titanic sucks, And they'll be like, what? Oh, Titanic. So what are you have any movies like that where you're like, this is a piece of shit but everybody loves it? So
Titanic.
Christmas Story would be one.
Titanic for sure. No.
Why Titanic?
Because it's stupid. I've never seen the thing start to finish. But before, it was when.
So you never even.
So it was when Leonardo DiCaprio was just like so full of himself, and I just had no interest in him. And then I'm like, I know the story. I just know it's going to be a love story, and he's going to die at the end. So the rest of it, unless it's like some brilliant screenplay, I have no interest. So I've seen bits and pieces of it. So I've probably seen half or more of it in bits and pieces. I've seen the ending, and I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't waste 2.5 or 3 hours watching it, because it's exactly what I thought. I know how it's going to end. It's going to be useless drama in between. It's not even a good love story.
And there's not even a good sex scene in it. There is a nude scene, though, with, what's her name?
But
Whatever.
The whole thing
Doesn't
is
matter.
so predictable. There's just, it offers me nothing. I know how it's going to start. I
It's
know
cliche.
what's going to happen from beginning
But-
to end, and I know exactly how it's going to end. Maybe minus a few graphics.
It's basically the Leonardo DiCaprio movie, the version of Romeo and Juliet that he did. Kind of like that. Which, by the way, that's a good movie, and I won't even go into that. But you know, what's funny. The thing about that movie being cliche, I think, is that it's kind of the template for that particular cliche that you're talking about.
Okay.
So I'll give it some leniency there in that it did invent that. So what you've never seen the very beginning.
No, because
to
you
the
know
end?
what I just likened it to? What are the stupid Christmas movies that are all the same?
Something
not
with
Harlequin.
Medea, I don't know.
People say they love watching them. Mostly women. Sorry. Like the Christmas. Anyway, they're just goofy Christmas card movies that are a love story and starts out somebody's
Like something
lonely.
you see on the Hallmark Channel.
Hallmark. Yeah. Yeah. Hallmark
sure,
Christmas
Hallmark
movies.
Those are feel-good movies.
They are, but they start out and somebody's lonely and something goes wrong, and then
But
they
the
meet somebody,
difference between
and
the
it has
Hallmark
a magical,
movies
and it
that-
has a magical happy ending. No, but the point is, they're the same fucking
That's
movie.
the difference. No, the difference is that the guy lives at the end. He doesn't fucking freeze to death.
Yeah, but
You never are watching the Hallmark Channel and you're like, holy fuck, Leonardo DiCaprio drowned at the end. Like, this is horrible. You're like, wait, she married a whole different guy and had kids and shit, and this was the dude that she fell in love with? Yeah, you think about that and like fucks with your head that she like still, and she had the gem all along. Whatever. Okay, so I'll give you that. Titanic is not a bad one, but my turn now. I never really liked Shawshank Redemption. Ever.
really,
I never liked it.
not even the 1st
I'm not
time.
big. What? I'm not big on movies with male rape in them, except for Pulp Fiction. That's a great movie. But I'd like to say the sisters never got to Jeffrey or whatever the fuck his name is.
I think that was just to punctuate how awful it is in prison.
Well,
I don't
sure
think
it is, but
I don't
I
think
don't
it was-
want to see that. As much as it's terrible, it's like in Pulp Fiction, it's kind of comedic. Whereas like in that, it's like, oh man, that's fucked up. You're like a Vietnam
don't-
movie where your buddy steps
No,
on
no,
a
no.
landmine.
I don't think it was meant to be comedic in Pulp Fiction. I think in Pulp Fiction it was meant to just show how fucked up people are. I mean, I think that's a lot of the point of that movie.
You think
And
so?
how
I don't see
and how
that, like, see it like
normal
that at all.
and how normal fucked up is. I think that's another big part of that movie.
To me, it's very cartoonish.
Well, I mean, Quentin Tarantino, from a certain perspective, always is.
Yeah,
but I
that's
think
why
the
it's not
brilliance of
realistic to me.
Pulp Fiction and parts of his other movies that don't end in cartoons, and some of them literally, right? Didn't Kill Bill have like the stick figures?
Just one, yeah,
chopping
just that
heads
one.
off.
And it was in the middle. It was not the end, but yeah.
Yeah, whatever. So he just turns 12 in certain parts of his movies. But anyway,
A movie.
when they're on their way to potentially kill those kids, or I think maybe kill those kids, John Travolta's talking about Big Macs in France, Le Big Mac. And it's just like,
Le Big Mac.
it's brilliant in how it just shows people. You know, I mean, to me, that's the best movie of character development and showing an interesting side of humanity of maybe any movie I've ever seen.
Not only, if I had to pick 5 movies, not only of best movies of all time, but 5 movies I could only ever watch those movies ever again, that would be on that list. Because it's totally rewatchable.
See, for
I
me,
seriously fucking love that movie.
that's a great movie, but for me, there's so much. It's just hard to watch. It's very exhausting to watch for me emotionally.
And you're just like my dad in that, where he is like disgusted by that whole, the whole like.
I'm not disgusted
butt
by it.
sex scene.
And your dad and I saw that together
In theater.
in college in the theater. First showing ever, and he and I were both like kind of down in the dumps or whatever. And we're like, let's go see a movie. And then we went to see that, and we're like, Well, that fucking made it worse. Anyway,
We've talked about those movies before.
yeah.
Like-
But anyway, but I've seen Pulp Fiction through probably 3 to 5 times since, and it is a great movie.
Yeah,
It is a great movie. Now, that said, I've seen it enough. Like, there's certain movies and shows that are, I think, really good that I just don't want to watch again. Like, I would liken it to, like, Breaking Bad. That was really good, and pretty much every episode was, for me, a cliffhanger, and I couldn't wait to see the next one, but I have no interest in seeing that again.
It's so
it's just-
long, and there's so much unnecessary shit in that series. Those episodes could be 25 minutes long.
Well,
There's a lot of this.
the first time through,
Staring
I
off
thought
in
it
the
was good.
distance.
but anyway, back to movies. So we were trying to go down a road like stupid, senseless movie. Oh, Shawshank
Do you-
Redemption.
No, it's movies that people love, but I fucking hate, or that you fucking hate. I don't really like Shawshank Redemption. It's not a great movie. It doesn't really teach me anything about life, other than that fucked up shit happens. I don't know, which like I already knew that. It's not a lesson.
That's a lot of movies, though.
Yeah, but it's not. You're not special that way. These are just certain guys, you know.
Well,
And it's like, I don't really buy
that's a
that all the
lot
guys
of
in jail
movies.
Yeah, I know it, and I don't really buy that a lot of guys who are in jail are like, the system got me down, you know. I don't really buy that.
Okay, I don't agree, but that's a whole different point. That's not a movie conversation. But yeah, I thought Shawshank Redemption was a good movie. There are people who, like you said, are just gaga over it. That
We'll
I
say
don't
number
get.
one.
I think it was a good movie. I think it was a very good movie. I've never watched it entirely a second time through. You know, there are times when you're like clicking through and there's nothing going on a Sunday afternoon, and I'll watch 30 minutes of it. But yeah, that's not a gotta watch it when I see it kind of
Yeah,
movie.
what's his name? Andy Dufresne. Yeah, I'd like
Andy
to say the
Dufresne.
sisters never got to Andy. They fucked him real good. I hate that. It's horrible. I don't want to see that.
You remember it too specifically for a movie. You don't
Sorry.
care about.
Yeah, it's really terrible. It's really not. I have a good memory for movies, but I never liked that one. People always say, "Oh, it's like number 1 or 2 movies of all time." Get the fuck out of here. That's bullshit.
What else? This is a good topic, but I didn't come prepared.
If you want to waste 90 minutes of your life on a great movie that you'll never want to watch again, it's called 4 Rooms, and it has Tim Roth and Quentin Tarantino directs a quarter of it and also acts in it. It's a very, very good movie. And it takes place, it's like about a bellhop on New Year's Eve. And it's a goofy movie, it's funny, and it has like a fucking perfect ending to it. But if that's just a good watch, it's totally off topic, but
Okay,
you
here's
guys
a
are
movie
looking for a giggle.
that I thought was very mediocre that people went crazy over. Bachelor Party. That didn't do
never
much
seen
for me. Really? Wow.
Yeah.
There was Bachelor Party, I think 1, 2, or was it Bachelor Party, the one that had Mike Tyson in it? Maybe it wasn't Bachelor Party.
Hangover?
The Hangover.
Yeah, it's a fucking silly movie. Yeah. Those don't really ever do much for me.
It wasn't even really silly. It was supposed to be like profound, I think, in some
I was not
sideways
supposed
kind of
to be
way.
profound. No way. There's that great scene where Mike Tyson is singing "In the Air Tonight" by Phil Collins, and then out of nowhere he punches out Zach Galifianakis. But
Don't remember.
that's a good scene. But because this is the best part. Ba-dum, 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 bum, bum. I can feel it. That was a good, and he just is stone cold knocked out. That's a great scene. But
Pretty
Great
good
movie, no.
replication of a Little Drum Deal right there.
yeah.
I'm impressed.
I can feel
Okay,
My
got
voice
it.
is messed up. We're good. We're done.
I can't.
I'm
Other
trying to
movie-
just
I
go
don't
through a
know.
list
There's
here.
so
Die
many.
Hard 1, the original, is great. Die Hard 2
Yep.
can fuck off and die.
This is
Um,
okay.
It was stupid. They just
This
tried to
is
do
okay.
it. Like, way
Die
too-
Hard 1 was definitely a.
And that's a Christmas movie. People
you
always say
like
they're
that
like, oh, it's a
genre-
Christmas movie.
You know what's a
Yeah.
yeah? It is a Christmas movie. To me, I don't know. To me, yeah, it takes place at Christmas. Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie to me.
I'll watch that with my dad because he actually likes that. is
Yeah.
one crazy son of a bitch. Wait, what's the guy's name? It's the trailers for that always have that in there. What's the guy's name?
Really?
Main character.
Danny
like Mel
Glover
Gibson or something.
is. Yeah, it's I can't believe it's not. I've seen that movie probably 10 times.
Whatever the guy's name is, they always go, it's Mel Gibson is one crazy son of a bitch or something like that, and it's like him jumping through a car window and like blowing up a building or some shit, and it's like running shirtless with the long hair and the machine gun strap over.
Right.
Yeah, those are good movies. I watched those with my dad when I was like,
Did I tell you?
What?
I'm growing a mullet.
"Are you really?"
Kind of.
It would look good on you.
Yeah.
It looks good on Braveheart, but I don't know if I know you guys share the whole Scottish lineage, but I don't know if you should
Can
try
you
to.
see it?
Sort of. It's long in the back. It's not that
Yeah,
long yet. You got to.
I haven't cut it in the front or in the back. I've just trimmed the sides. I'm just letting it grow. There's all this hair back here. It feels weird.
I heard something hilarious where I forget who the fuck it was, and
This is
I
the most
apologize.
bizarre podcast we've ever done, man.
It's a Christmas one. We can do fun stuff on this. It's fine.
Okay.
I think we just need time to be goofy.
Okay.
In holiday spirit, but there's this great this line. I forget who the guy was, but he said the new virtue signaling is having a shitty haircut because it says you've been social distancing and you haven't gone out to get it cut by like a barber. So you're like, I'm staying inside, so you have like bad hair. I forget who said that, but it was really funny. It was like if you have a bad haircut, it's because you're like showing that you're not going out, you're staying safe. I'm
Okay.
like, fuck that. Yeah. Anyway, random.
Well, that's
Speaking of
kind of.
Braveheart, though, another great movie.
God, what's the character's name in Lethal Weapon? It's driving me nuts.
Well, you just,
Come on.
Just talk about something for 10 seconds.
Where's
I'll
Crystal?
for you. Huh?
She could
Oh,
pull
Crystal,
that off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Where are you, Crystal?
She's hanging out with her kids, hopefully.
What are your favorite
I posted something.
Christmas movies?
I like Christmas Carol. I like Elf. It's kind of like old though. Yeah, Mel Gibson plays. Oh, is it Martin Riggs?
Martin Riggs. Yep.
Martin
Did you
Riggs
just
is
look
one
it up?
crazy son of a bitch. Yeah, I did look it up. Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. Is that cheating? Didn't mean to.
No, not if you admit it.
Yeah. What's funny is my mom and my brother always watch a ton of Christmas movies that I don't really like. Like they'll watch Deck the Halls, which is like not a great Christmas movie.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, fuck it. Don't worry about it.
What is it?
It's I don't even know the actors. It's the guy who plays Inspector Gadget and the guy who plays the short guy on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And they play like they're warring between who can have the better Christmas. They're like the guy's like, I'm the Christmas guy in this town, and then it's like this guy moves in and he's like, well, I'm the Christmas guy, And they
I've
have, like, a
seen that
battle.
movie.
They
Yeah.
become friends at the end to save Christmas. Yeah. I like The Grinch, bro. What the fuck? How come you didn't mention that? I love The Grinch Stole Christmas.
The movie or the
That's a good
show?
one. The movie. Now, I watched both of them
The
this year.
Grinch with Jim Carrey.
Yes, that one's the live action one, but the original one from 1966, where it's just a 25-minute cartoon, that one still makes me happy, but it's like, for when you're a toddler.
I rewatched that this year.
The original one?
I'm not sure I've ever seen the Jim Carrey one through. Maybe I'll give that a try.
It's just funny cartoon physics. I love it. Or the dog runs uphill with the sleigh full of shit. It's like, oh yeah, that happens. Like
I'll
at least
give
in the
that
Jim Carrey one, the thing has to have a rocket on it or whatever the fuck he did. Yeah.
I'll give that one a try.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway.
I like that. I like the Christmas Carol one, also with Jim Carrey. It's cartoon though. Creepy movie. It's from 2009. And it goes to Christmas where he plays Scrooge, and I think they have Bryan Cranston play the.
Is it like
No.
basically an adult movie that's a cartoon that kids will watch?
Sort
too?
of, yeah. It's kind of creepy, but it's good. And you're gonna fucking laugh at me, but I grew up like this. Every single one of the Harry Potter movies, to me, is a Christmas movie.
Really?
All of them except for the last two, 7 and 7 Part 2, because they don't really have Christmas in them. But other than that, those are all Christmas movies to me.
You know, I started to watch, I think, is the first Harry Potter movie where it's like a
Sorcerer's
magician thing, right?
Yeah.
I liked it. I do not like, what are the ones that are like wizards and,
That's literally like that's like the line. It's like, you're a wizard, Harry.
no,
Here's a
no.
wand.
No, where there's spells. It's like Dungeons and Dragons turned into a movie. It's not Harry Potter. It's another one. With
That is
Frodo.
Oh, that's Lord of the Rings.
Okay. Those bug me. Those are just dorky and goofy. But I
Yes, it's
watched,
fucking nerdy as hell.
yes,
Yeah.
I watched the first part of the first Harry Potter movie and I liked it. I didn't have time
It's
to finish
happy.
it, but I liked it. It was, yeah, it
And
was
it's
cool.
wait-
It was fun. It was a little kid
and
and
it-
wizardry and
Yeah,
magic.
wait, and
and,
halfway through it, yeah, like becomes a Christmas movie, and then it goes to the climax, and then it ends, and it's like, that was kind of a Christmas movie there.
really?
Yeah, they're
I'll
like
finish
good
it.
Christmas. They're like good
I
winter
watched
movies,
half of
swear
it
to
and
God.
I had something to do. It was Sunday afternoon. And I don't know why.
Yeah,
But
there's
I was
snow,
compelled to
and
watch it.
Everybody says Happy Christmas and shit. It's like a good, feel good movies. Whatever.
Well, then I'll have
a-
to finish it because I'm on vacation
Yeah, like-
for 2 solid weeks starting tomorrow.
I'm pretty sure ABC actually includes them in their 25 Days of Christmas.
Really?
That's how Christmassy they are. Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, I'm still trying to think of really shitty movies that I don't like. All I think of is good movies that I like. There's some pretty famous ones that I know that I hate, that people love. What's the movie where the guy calls himself the Dude? The Dude Abides.
I have no idea.
Hey Siri, look up The Dude Abides. The Big Lebowski. Fuck yourself, Big Lebowski. That
Oh,
movie's
you know
so
what? I
stupid.
started watching that and I couldn't even, I didn't make it
It's
probably
so dumb.
30 minutes through.
I knew a guy in high school, and maybe I'm mischaracterizing his love for this movie, so I apologize because I'm going to name him. But Joey Geniac, if you're out there, you used to speak so highly of this movie, and I was always like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Do you have like mental deficiency? I don't know. I don't get it." And here's my friend. Never understood why you like that movie.
You know, we can,
But-
let's do series too. Mad Men. I tried
love
watching
Mad
that.
Men.
I got nothing out of it. Did
What's your problem with
nothing
Mad
for me.
Men? The dude's a fucking train wreck. That's
It was
part of
just
the show.
boring.
It's old timey and like there's racism and shit in it, and it's like you can't have stuff like that in like modern day TV shows because it's not PC. But it's like I think it's good because it's for me that time period. You grew up in that, but for me that time period is very interesting.
I grew up in that. It's the fucking 50s.
No, it takes place in like the 70s.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it starts in the 60s and then it goes to the 70s.
Okay, so I was 5.
Whatever. Yeah, you're a kid. The kids are like 5, 6, and 7 when they're growing up. Don's kids.
No, that's like the late 50s or maybe early 60s.
Okay. I'll accept late 50s to early 70s tops.
Okay, so I
At
was
the most.
born in 66. So if it started before I was born, I wouldn't say that's growing up era.
So-
Anyway,
Okay, whatever. You could have had a good
definitely
6 years of
predates
life
me.
in there. Fair enough. Okay. Post Vietnam, I'll give you that. Whatever. But
There wa-
that's true.
There was another
One of the last episodes, the guy goes away to Vietnam War, so maybe you're right. But I like that. I didn't have anything bad to say about it. You know, I didn't like Better Call Saul. How about that? One of your fucking
Really?
favorite shows.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Why too slow?
Yes, it's so slow. It's the same thing with Breaking Bad, and I actually really liked Breaking Bad, but I don't fucking want to look at Skylar staring out the window, being like, "Oh, my husband is a drug lord."
How much of Better Call Saul have you watched?
Like 10 or 12 episodes.
Because the last few seasons are way different than the first few seasons. It's
Like
much
better or
darker.
worse?
Oh, you'd like it better. It's darker. It's It's funny because I watched the first 3 episodes over the last few days, and I'm like, wow, this started out kind of slow. It changes
funny.
a lot. It changes a
See,
whole
at
lot.
least I'm not wrong. At least I'm not crazy. You're like, you understand that there's something to be felt there.
Well, I was intrigued with that character. So when it came out, I was all juiced to watch it, and
Torqued.
and twerked, and I was spurging out. So I watched the last season, the 5th season, over, I don't know. I bought it in the probably early fall, and I watched it, and it was really good. Then I'm like, I'm going to start the whole thing over. It might be something to binge watch over the holidays. And the first 3 episodes, I was like, wow, this started out slow.
Because I've been at your place a few times and we watched bits and pieces of it. And I'm just like, don't get it.
His character, though, is just an interesting character.
I like that actor too. He's a good actor. But I just,
That character is kind of Robin Hoodish.
There's a good one. Let's talk about that. And there's not even I'm not even talking about a specific movie or a show or anything like that. But this character that is Robin Hood that everyone thinks is like such a fucking great guy. I don't. Robin Hood is not a good person.
No, he's a fucking
still-
thief.
Yeah, he's still stealing. I don't know why everyone's like it's better to be Robin Hood than it is to be the guy with the money. And you're like, really? At least the guy with the money isn't a fucking criminal. Like,
Well,
literally
in
killing
that
people.
era, though, he's taken from like aristocracy, who just absolutely is. Yeah, that's different.
Well, yeah, but at that point,
He's still a thief. The king is evil.
So instead, he's stealing from somebody that he actually swore fealty to. So that's somehow better. Where he's like, I swear
No.
to never,
I'm just saying,
I
it's-
promise to be your thief from here on out.
I wouldn't completely liken it to like Americans paying taxes and him just doing a good job at redistributing wealth. He's a fucking thief, right? He's
Yeah, right.
holding people up,
Robin Hood.
right? They didn't have guns
Successfully
yet. All they had were
implemented
bows
socialism.
and arrows.
Yeah, right. At the tip of a blade, he instituted Marxism to a T. Right.
Robin Hood and his merry men. Yes, it's totally glorified, and he is a
Yeah,
thief.
Robin Marx. Why don't we? Let's do that. How about? Have you ever seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
Yes, and I think that's quite funny.
I fucking love it. I fucking love that movie. And they were talking about anarchy in that movie long before I ever talked about it.
What's the
We live
line?
in an
Is it an Australian or an African swan? Phew.
I don't know. Yeah.
Right.
Australian or African swallow? No, what did he say? African or European? Right. He goes, I don't know that. Oh. Yeah,
Well,
Bridge of
it
Despair.
starts out where they're at that castle, right? What's the terminal velocity of blah blah blah?
No, the
Anyway.
airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And there's that great point where King Arthur is trying to tell these two, like, they're like peasants literally like digging around in shit. And I think they even say that. They're like, oh, there's some lovely filth down here. And they're digging in filth. And they go, we live
Yeah,
in
when
a
they're-
anarcho-capitalist society with whatever. And I'm like, this is gold. Totally unappreciated today, but the fucking beautiful.
I don't agree. A lot of people my age,
Oh, really?
quote that movie for sure. Absolutely.
Oh, I fucking love that movie. It's so great.
It's
Those
a
guys were
great
good.
movie. Yes.
They did this whole thing with the Goofy Walk, where they like just did silly carrying trays
coconuts?
of hot tea. Where they,
Oh,
no,
okay.
it was Monty Python doing other shit, but Holy Grail is gold. Yeah.
A fun one from that. Well, there's a lot of good lines. She's a witch. Burn her. Burn her. Look
What
at her nose.
also
Look at the
floats in
nose.
water?
Right.
Rocks. Very small rocks.
Rocks.
Churches.
Small rocks.
A duck. Right. Whoa. Yeah, right. Float away. 'Tis but
Yeah.
a flesh wound. Yeah. Great shit.
What do they want?
Is-
They're searching for something called the Holy Grail. What'd you tell them? I told them we already got one.
I've told them we've already got one. Yeah, right. Yeah. And they catapult they build the giant bunny like pretend to
So,
be a Trojan horse.
I
and they,
just
like,
gotta say, this
catapult
is not a podcast. This is you and me totally shooting this.
Sorry. No, but if you are watching this, these movies, when you're at home for the holidays with your family, watch this shit, and it will bring you as much joy as Chris and I are getting out of it right now discussing them.
I'm not sure a lot of people are gonna get the Holy Grail.
It's a fucking great movie.
It's
I don't know. Maybe not.
it's got
It's totally goofy.
it's totally goofy, but you also have to pay attention and think to appreciate the goof.
It's a good movie. And it's
No
I will
doubt.
say this. There is aspects of the humor that relate strictly to the art of narration and like storytelling. I don't know how else you would describe it. Literature, like you have to be able to understand literature and fuck, how would you describe it?
Politics and history. There's a lot, right? That what you said about forms of
Some
government.
watering taught through
And
a
they took
sword at you.
they refer back to like the Trojan horse, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff.
Oh, but all that shit's common knowledge. Yeah, right?
Unfortunately, no, not anymore.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Whatever. I knew all that shit back when I was like 10. I fucking love the Holy Grail. Yeah, we totally got off track, but this is still fun. If you're watching this and you're like, this is a waste of my time, you'll get your money's worth, which, by the way, this is a free show, if you watch these movies and you listen to us. These are good
We're shouting
recommendations.
out a window. I love that.
Yeah.
According to Howard
Exactly.
Stern, we're shouting out a window.
Yeah. This is just a feel-good episode. And
It is.
if you have a problem with it, I don't fucking care. How about that? Take that, because I'm so happy
Right.
it's Christmas. Let's talk about how Christmas is the best holiday, and it's the best religion too.
Um,
I'm joking. Just trying to cause some.
well, no,
controversy.
Christmas is for me is its own standalone religion.
Do you
want to
think
know?
that-
You want to know why it's good for me? Because I couldn't do other things that are normally Christmassy. I went online the other day and I gave money to a handful of charities. And I didn't plan on telling anybody about it, and I felt good doing it.
I gave. That's
Lame.
That is good. You know what? I gave
It's lame.
like
Wow.
$201
Ouch.
to a charity last Christmas because my employer matched the donations, and my boss gave $200, and he posted it in our team chat, and I was like, I'm gonna give $201.
Oh, to outdo
But
'em.
now I'm not working with them, so maybe I'll be back there in a little while. So I didn't give charitably this year.
It wasn't like
Yeah,
I
who
gave
knows?
away tens of thousands of dollars, but it just felt good.
It does feel
just-
good, yeah. But I always am so suspect of charities because I don't know how much of that money actually goes, like how much of that gets to.
So
those
one of the
people.
ones I gave to was Toys for Tots. 97%.
So only
97%
3% of
goes
it
to
is spent
toys.
on overhead.
1% is spent on 1% is spent on administration. 2% is spent on marketing and advertising.
Wow, that's a good charity.
It's the Marines.
What do you mean?
The Toys for Tots is the Marines. That's who administrates it.
Oh, like Marines do it, like in the military.
Yes. Yep.
Wow, that's gangster. Who knew
Yeah.
that?
Toys
That's
for
cool.
Tots. Yep. So
I heard
underprivileged
that.
kids.
You know, it's a good one. Is actually that Wounded Warrior Project. That's actually a good one too. I've heard that.
Yeah.
Big margins.
What? Yeah. 97% is
It's
crazy.
fucking unheard of. Yeah.
I think the litmus test is if you can get to more than 50%, you're doing well.
Wait,
Just
there was
because of the
that.
structure of nonprofits.
There was that Me Too one. Did I share this on the podcast?
I don't
This
think
is
so.
a good one for a podcast talk, but that Me Too movement one, the charity that was started by like a bunch of these Hollywood actresses, as opposed to non-Hollywood actresses, Charlie. They collected like a total of $3.4 million, of which $271,000 actually went towards legal fees to
Oh,
these women, and
Yeah.
like 1.8 went to salaries and shit like that. It's like, oh, you guys fucked up so hard. That is not good look. That is so not a good look. That's over 60% of your total, total revenue went towards just yourselves. Whereas like less than fucking 20%. That's a bad look. And no one will ever
Yeah.
talk about it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I
But,
mean, the big ones like Red Cross and UNICEF and I don't know, whatever else. There's a lot of overhead there. But yeah, 97%. That's crazy high. Towards
I
your
just had to
tots.
unsubscribe from the Red Cross's emails. Does that make me a bad person?
Not necessarily.
They send me so many fucking emails, and I'm like, first of all, I have anemia. I can't really give you my blood. You don't want it, It's not good blood.
They'll take
They're
your
like,
money.
Charles, we need your blood all the time. I'm like, just shut the fuck up. Stop it. I'll give you my dog's blood for dogs. Doggy
They'll
blood.
take your money.
I'd rather give them my blood.
All right,
I'd rather sell them my blood, but that's not.
we are at an hour and 10 minutes, and we're chit-chatting.
Sorry, we went long, but we got
That's all right.
excited. They're talking about movies.
No, it was fun. Hopefully it was entertaining. Let's be ready for New Year's.
Fuck yeah.
All right? The 8-ball. I asked last week. I liked my question last week. I thought that was clever.
I have a great question for it.
Okay.
Okay, 8-ball, is this Christmas gonna be the best Christmas that we've ever had in a while, in that I'm gonna get a lot of the things that I asked for Christmas?
I'm doubling down.
My reply is no. That's a fucking sad answer, because I know that I got all the shit that I asked for Christmas. How does that work, 8-ball?
Well, if you got exactly what you wanted and nothing more, that would be a disappointment. Probably in years past,
That's
you've
kinda
got
true.
something you didn't ask for, which is like infinity.
And I would also have liked to get some other stuff that I didn't ask for. So
this year,
We'll see.
I've asked for nothing. And you know what? I'm going to take this opportunity to give my mom the biggest shout out ever. My mom
You're cheating.
rocks.
I gave your mom a
She-
shout out earlier today.
She put out my Christmas tree. She decorated around the house. And she came here yesterday. And I'm kind of fussy about, I do not like being surprised with unannounced visitors. I just don't like it. And there are a
So I
number of
should
reasons
stop doing
why.
that?
Pardon me? You've never shown
So I
up
should stop
unannounced.
coming over.
So she came over and I was grumpy, but she came over with presents. It was Friday, actually. So there were presents under my tree. And my mom is like, there's no way she's not having presents under my tree. And my mom, she rocks. She just rocks.
That's fucking awesome, first of all. And that's a totally well-deserved shout out. And Crystal, if she's watching, I gave her a shout out today too, as well as all the other moms out there, because there was this SNL video that they put out, which is like one of the funniest things they've done in a long time. And it was a joke. It was like a rap about, oh, it's Christmas morning, and they go through like it's mom, dad, and Timmy and Susie, like what they all got for Christmas, whatever. And they're going through the list, like dad got this, Timmy got this, Susie got this, and the mom goes, and I got a robe. And they go through, oh, and I got a Millennium Falcon Lego set, and then we got the piano from Big, and she goes, and I got a robe. She's like, and I burned myself in the oven, but I didn't scream because I had the pain inside. And I'm like, it was about how moms do all the hard work for Christmas, and they are the unsung heroes of that. And it's like, they don't even get good presents because we're shitty at it. So I posted that. I was like, hey, Merry Christmas to all you badass moms out there. But it's funny, as if you can't relate to this as a mother, you're probably not doing Christmas right. So it's bittersweet that it's a good thing that you're the only you're the only superhero that exists that can do this. So we just have to try harder. But
You
we
know
love
what?
you and thank you.
Here's what I like about what you said. And it's not just Christmas. Moms are unsung heroes, period. Moms rock.
Hell yeah.
Moms rock.
Yes, and we don't deserve you. You're the heroes we need, but not the ones we deserve. Yeah.
And that, you know what? That's a perfect note to end it on.
Yes, I agree.
All right. Merry Christmas to all of the mothers. You guys are our unsung heroes, and you all rock.
Merry Christmas, and I like you more than a friend.
Everyone does.
Yeah.
Had to pick a song. Say goodbye to Charlie. Bye, Charlie. Say goodbye to Chris. Bye, Chris.
There's your Salt Rock.
Merry Christmas, everybody.